Good morning. So today's walk is from Oxenhope, which is just down there behind me. We've started at the railway station where there's a large car park. We've walked up through the village, which was established really in the 1850s as a wool and cloth manufacturing centre. About 20 mills, and as you walk through the village you can see more or less where they were, where the water sources were, where the ponds were and all that. And we've worked our way up the valley. I'm about halfway up this little valley here. The railway was built in 1867, and the reservoir, which is also behind me, which we'll pass later on, was built about 5 or 6 years later, and that provided water for the mills as the Industrial Revolution really got going and power was really required for these mills. So what we're going to be doing is going up the hill in front of me, where there's a stanza stone. A stanza is a type of poem, and on this stone has been chiselled this poem. We'll go and have a look at that. We won't tell you which one it is until we arrive there. And then we'll work our way back down to the reservoir and then back down to the village. It's about 8 kilometres, which is 5 miles. It should take about 3 hours. Okay, let's crack on then. Happy hiking. So the start of today's walk is at Oxenhope station on the Worth Valley Railway. There's a cafe here, toilets, and you can buy tickets to ride on the Heritage Railway line. Car parking is free. It's quite a large car park. You can actually arrive by train at Keighley and then catch the Heritage line up to Oxenhope, which would make a really good day out. Unfortunately, on my visit, the trains weren't running because it was middle of January. So the car park is down there. I'm just going to follow this road up to the major crossroads. This is up here into Oxenhope proper. So approximately 100 metres after the big chimney, I'm going to be turning left up Dew Lane. Very atmospheric this morning. So for the sign here that says back leaning, don't go up the hill, that brings you onto the main road. Instead we go right and down this road here. And just follow the tarmac road down by this stream. Some beautiful houses there. We're now crossing Crosley Bridge. So once you're over the bridge, make your way up. You see the chappie there. Up to this stile. We don't go over that stile, which goes over to the dam wall. What we do is continue on this path. So we're now at Lower Isle. Followed that path up, led us onto this tarmac. The tarmac has led us up here to Lower Isle, and now we're going to be taking this track for a short distance before turning right. Okay, this is where we're turning right. couple of people just up there. Stranger danger. Just a bit of an overlook of the valley. You'll see in a minute somebody having a few problems. That's Oxenhope down there. So we pass through this gate. And continue along this really nice path. This ancient path. It's probably 300-400 years old. It's just used for hikers and bikers now. You can imagine trains of ponies with wool and cloth on it, on their saddlebacks, trekking over these hills. We just keep following this path, this wall path, all the way up to a bend in a road. It's not very far away now. So we're approaching the road. Big boulders. They're left now for about 400 metres before we turn off. This is the colder air link. It's not the colder way. We go past this, continue along the road because we're going up Nab Hill. We're going to continue along the road for a little bit further and then we're going to turn off on the left. So we get to this point here on the road, and about 10 metres further on there's a stone bridge over this bit of a stream, a kissing gate and a signpost. I'll go through there, up that bit of a path. So this is the roadway. You can come up that bit there, but I decided to go through the gate. Another gate over this conduit. This is when they built the reservoir. They wouldn't have had enough water to keep it filled with the natural runoff. And so they run a conduit around the hillside, picking up streams that wouldn't normally go into the reservoir. Luckily we have a bit of a bridge over it. Of course they would have had to have built these bridges to allow farmers to get, you know, over, safely over, to get to the sheep grazing. Okay, so we've come up this broken wall to this bit of a boundary stone here, and now we're going to go sort of 2 o'clock-ish from where we're standing up onto Nab Head with a bit of luck. So we've now picked up this path. If you look carefully, right out there you can see Studley Pike. So on this track, according to my notes, it's up this way somewhere. Yeah, this path runs along here. Looks like it's old stone quarries. Big slabs of stone. I'm just looking for the Stanza Stone. I've no idea where it is other than what's on the Ordnance Survey. So it's telling me to come along here. We'll see if we can find it. come this way through the old quarrying. And if you go that way, there's more quarries, places to sit and get out of the wind and what have you. But there's no Stanza Stone down there. I'm going to continue along and see where it is. Okay, helpfully we have a waymark that says Stanza Stones with an arrow pointing up here. And that's just after that sort of quarry I was mentioning. So we'll see what happens up here. Hopefully I don't break through the snow. Not too bad. Okay, so that's the post. Points up towards me. Obviously the snow's not going to be here. You come this way. Come along here and you keep left to this first set of stones. Now, I went wandering about all over. I had a look down here. Decided this was just a shelter. I could see the other shelters over there, and that's a bit of a nicely man-made one, and that's where I would have expected it to be. But no, it's just hidden just down there. There it is. Planning this trip, it said today was going to be sunny with a bit of white cloud. But when I got up this morning, it was misty, and when I arrived into this valley, the mist was deep in the valley. You couldn't see anything at all. But half an hour after I got out of the car and started walking, it all cleared. I was talking to a local person earlier on, and he said he couldn't see his hand in front of his face an hour before I met him, and it's all just blown away. So yeah, aptly named Mist on the peat and gritstone moors. Okay, you're quite welcome to have a wander around and have a look at all these follies. The summit of the hill is over there somewhere. Mist. Who does it mourn? What does it mean? Such nearness gathering here on the high ground, while your back was turned, drawing its net curtains around. Featureless silver screen. Mist is water in its ghost state, all inwardness, holding its milky breath, veiling the pulsing machines of the great cities under your feet, walling you into those moments, into this anti-garden of gritstone and peat. Given time, the edge of your being will seep into its fibreless fur. You are lost adrift in hung water and blurred air, but you are here. So the Stanza Stone is over there, and I've walked along the edge to the newly built wind shelter. Come along here to this wind shelter. Bit of a folly. I'm going to pick up the main path now. Runs along the edge. All these little quarries, they're called delphs. So I'm assuming they're sort of scrapings rather than proper quarries. They've just been scraped out and the stone's been collected. There's quite a lot around here. You can go over to the summit, which is about 500 metres to the right hand side, but I'm running out of daylight, so I'm not going to do that. So from the follies and the Stanza Stone, we're going to be following the path back and into some more delphs over there, some more quarries. You can see the conduit. We're going to try and pick up Hambleton Lane, which is just on that sort of edge, just in line with the water. Okay, so we're now in the delph I mentioned earlier, the quarrying, and we're just going to wend our way through, following the path. Not sure where it takes us, but there's lots of people been down here before, so shouldn't be a problem. Can you imagine working up here? Years upon years, digging out the stone, dressing it, loading it, taking it to market. Yep. Proper hard work. So we've got a bit of a divergence here. What we're going to do is go down this one towards the reservoir. Okay, so that bit of a wander down leads you to this gate and onto Hambleton Lane. We go through these gates, picking up the Millennium Way. I'll just come down through that gate, come down here, and the main track goes that way, but we're going down this way, down towards the reservoir. So our goal, and get down to the old mill down there. The Millennium Way signpost, and a lovely little spring, fresh water coming straight out of the mountain, bubbling up. Nice tree, gate post, beautiful. You can see the walled track is on that side, but the main path is just to the left of it. That's, as long as we're paralleling that double walled track, and then we're fine. Okay, that's where we're heading. Leeming Reservoir. Okay, we're crossing over another conduit through a bit of a kissing gate, and then down, straight down. It's a little bit of a spur, and then we'll see where we go from there. Right, so we've come down that grass through this gate, still following the Bronte Way, paralleling this wall on this bit of a spur, and we'll see where it takes us. Right, so I'm going through this gate. So this is how the water eventually comes down. We came down there. We're now on this track. We're turning right. The water's going down here on a bit of a slalom before it goes into Leeming Reservoir, which is quite interesting. Maybe if we're trying to slow it down. So we've come over that bridge just there in the centre, along here, through that gate, and up this narrow little path which goes between two houses, which is behind me. So we go between these two houses and then turn left. So this is the left turn. We follow this lovely track up to the road. So we've come up this track. It's Leaming's Reservoir. This is the road, and you can follow the road back. Let's follow that all the way back. But we're going up there. Come to the top house on the lane, and we go through this stile. Once we're through the stile, we're on this grassy path. Looks like we're following the edge of this wood. So we'll go through this stile, through that gate, onto some tarmac. Got through this gate, down these steps, turn right, through another gate, between the farmhouses. You should be on the road. Between the houses and then onto the road. Okay, so we're back on a council road here now, single track, and we follow this all the way down to the car park. Cross over a couple of others, but essentially it's this road. We've now got a good view of Oxenhope, which was the reason why I took this track up this side of the hill. Dusk is coming now and the birds are tweetering, and you can see where we've been on the top of Nab Hill. And this is their view. What a wonderful Pennine view. Cross over the road, and then you're on Harry Lane, and within next to no time you're back at the car park. In conclusion then, what do I think about this walk to see the Stanza Stone Mist? It's always nice to have an objective, otherwise, as Wainwright says, it's just aimless wandering. But yes, it's a beautiful little village, plenty of nice architecture, and then you get up onto the moors and you've got the lovely tracks and paths which are 300-400 years old. I'm looking over them now, and then we've got the climb up onto the hill and the search through the dells for any historical interest, really, although I was looking for the Stanza Stone. The Stanza Stone itself, yeah, it's hidden out of the way, but I've shown you how to get there. And then I wander back through the dells and then through more tracks, through some more beautiful little hamlets, just a couple of 3 houses, maybe late 1700s. Obviously they're all modernised now, every single one is modernised. But yeah, it's a beautiful area. I came this morning and the valley was covered in mist, and I thought, no, what a waste of a day coming all the way out here, because I ideally want clear days. But it's turned out really well, and poignant as well. So yeah, get yourself out here, enjoy the day, find the stone, and yeah, frequent some of the pubs that are on the way as well. So until next time, happy hiking.